You're really doing this. Okay, so Jaclyn here. It's the midday show. It is in the middle of your Weedman Western Kentucky Lunchtime Request show. And, well, today we're going to do things a little differently.
Okay, so we're actually filming Jaclyn's audition video for The Bachelor live.
Live. We're live on the air, by the way. So Ashley is in here, and she's filming us right now. Now, the reason that I've decided to do this is because I've always watched The Bachelor. It's always intrigued me for lots of reasons. But Cliff Kingsbury, as you may or may not know, is a football coach for Texas Tech.
And she loves football.
I do love football.
And football players. And football coaches.
And there it is.
And water boys.
One time, no. Okay, so there was some kind of funny, he had like a question and answer with some fans, and they said, would you ever be on The Bachelor? And he said, well, I would never rule it out, but I want to be a part of the selection process. And I thought, well, if for some crazy reason they talk him into being The Bachelor, I want to be submitted as an applicant.
You want to roll out of the limousine is what you're saying.
Exactly. Preferably
Perfect.
not fall out of the limousine. That's happened. So this is my coworker, Chad, by the way, and we're having to introduce ourselves because we're on camera, so our listeners are like, why do you introduce me? I'm Jaclyn, and we're here in Owensboro, Kentucky for WBKR. I'm the midday girl, so I'm on from 9 to 2. This is Chad. He is on in the mornings, and peeking through this window very creepily is our friend Dave Spencer. Now, our listeners can't see this, but Spencer is creeping through the window in the back of the studio with a rose. So if he feels like I do a good job on this interview, then he's going to bring me the rose. And he's smelling it. I can't even deal with that. Okay, so we printed out the application process off abc.com.
There are a lot of questions on this thing.
Okay, so we're just gonna roll with it.
Okay, so I looked these over.
Do you want to move over here?
I looked these over and I pulled off some of the best questions, I think. So, Jaclyn, question number one for you.
Okay, question number one.
Please describe your ideal mate in terms of physical attraction and in terms of personality attraction.
I already regret doing this. Okay, so my ideal mate has to be attractive. And that doesn't have to necessarily be completely physical. You can be attracted to someone for lots of different reasons. And I don't have to say this, and I don't mean it in a hateful way. I'm a tall girl. So I'm 5'7". I have some shoes that are like 5 inches tall.
It's kind of like a she-male when you really get down to it.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I can go from regular girl to tranny in a good pair of heels.
She's right.
But it is true. But so I need them to be, at least 6 feet tall.
Okay. I think that's fine.
I think that's okay. And I want someone that has a good time, that's not very sensitive, that doesn't need a lot of nurturing. I'm a very nurturing person, but not with a man. I need a man.
She needs a man.
A man.
Okay, so, good answer, by the way. Good answer.
Thanks.
This
Thanks, guys. Did I get a point?
Bachelor, but
whatever.
List 3 adjectives that would surprise people about you.
Okay, well, as all of our listeners know, of course I'm a radio gal, but I also have a band, so I'm in the public a lot. But a lot of people would be surprised to know that I get embarrassed really easily. I don't take compliments well. I would much rather someone tell me what I'm doing wrong than what I'm doing right. So if you say, oh my gosh, you look so pretty, I'm like dying on the inside. So
She much prefers Jaclyn this video as a trainer. She likes that. That's better.
That's exactly right. So I'm a little more reserved than most people would think.
Okay, so I love this question because it applies to you. Have you ever auditioned for or been a performer, participant, contestant on a reality or other TV or radio show or in a film?
Okay, well, obviously radio show, hello, and I auditioned for Nashville Star, which was a music...
talent contest.
Yeah.
Like American Idol in Music City.
Right,
basically.
and so I did fairly well. I made it to like the round or 2 outside of TV, so I never made it on TV, I guess, but I auditioned.
Okay, this question's, I love this one. Why would you want to find your spouse on our TV show? Okay,
I'm not going to lie. There are so many reasons why I would not be a good Bachelorette on The Bachelor. Let's just start naming them. One, I'm not plastic pretty. Okay, I am not plastic pretty. I don't have perfect hair. There are certain things that I'm missing that I feel like is a big part of the show.
You should pan around to the backside.
The backside is nice. The backside I'm covered. It's just up front that I'm a little lacking. So there are a lot of things that I think that maybe I would be different on The Bachelor, but I think the process is interesting. I think nowadays you can do anything online. You can become a minister online. You can get your doctorate online. You can buy a car online. You know, there's so many things, and there are other things that you can do that are kind of technologically driven. So why not find a spouse on TV?
Very interesting. How would you think you would be with the other females?
I think it depends. I'm a little older than a lot of those girls, so I don't want to say the cattiness because, everything is when it's edited. No offense to y'all behind or watching. But I think it'll be interesting because I'm pretty straightforward. Like, I'm not, I tend to get along with everyone. So, like, little, inside drama, I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay, so what accomplishment are you most proud of?
Carson, obviously. These poor listeners hear me talk about Carson. By the way, if you're watching, Carson is my daughter. She's 4 1/2. And, what'd you say?
Nothing.
I hear you, Uncle Ted.
I didn't say anything.
I saw that.
I was reading the application for The Bachelor.
But she's my biggest accomplishment, so there you go.
Okay, so that's pretty good, Jaclyn. I think you did great.
Did I do well?
I think you did great.
Is there anything else you want to ask?
Well, some of these are obvious, like what's your favorite drink?
Whiskey. I mean, I didn't think putting moonshine would be appropriate.
Yeah, I think you're right. But no, I think you did great. I was just looking over some of these. This question, though, you have to answer.
Oh, gosh.
Because this is such a part of the show. Because there are always fantasy dates and one-on-ones and group dates and stuff, and that's what the show's built around. So you have to describe your ultimate fantasy date for the show. Because, they take them away to tropical locations all the time, and they go to Puerto Rico, they go to Houston.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm not going to jump off a bridge, okay? I like my feet on the ground, as we know. I'm not going to do that. No offense. I'm sure I would love you, but that doesn't mean I trust you just so I'm going to jump off a bridge. I would actually prefer more of, real dates, things that you would do in real life. Like we were talking this morning, let's head over to the Malco with the sticky floors and the gumdrops and check out a movie. Or, let's go to a restaurant and see how he handles a bad waiter,
Go to the drive-in, watch a movie, eat some nachos, make out in the backseat.
That would be perfect. Actually, that would be perfect. Or a football game. There are certain football stadiums that I am just dying to go see. I grew up in Tennessee, so obviously Neyland Stadium. I've been several times, but I would love to go back in football season and big sports girl. So really any type of sporting event or concert would be fun.
One more question before we let you off the hook.
Okay, I'm nervous.
Do you have any special talents that we are not aware of? We know it's not cooking. You've worn that Paula Deen corn casserole out, girl. We all know you can make that. We got it.
If cooking is the way to a man's heart, I'm just going to be single forever, okay? Well, I'm a singer. I have a band. Honestly.
We know about that one, though. Special
any
talents.
Other special talents?
You curl your tongue, roll quarters down your stomach, do this under your arm.
No, I don't know. I don't. You know what? I think in another life I could have worked for the FBI. I have a really, when I watch Criminal Minds, I tend to figure things out a little quicker than I think makes me feel comfortable.
Okay. So Jaclyn Graves, potential contestant on The Bachelor.
Oh, and by the way, if you can't get Cliff Kingsbury, a little word of the wise from us. We think you need a country boy this time, okay? No offense against Juan Pablo, but... Okay, so let's get a country boy. Let's get a good man who loves his mama and who will wrap his little arm around you and say, "How are you, darling?" Right? Does that sound good?
She said it.
So,
or Aaron Rodgers. She wants Aaron Rodgers, too.
Honey. Okay.
Right. How'd she do?
This is Dave Spencer. We're having to kind of explain who people are. What do you think? What do you think, Spence? How did I do?
Will you accept this rose?
Yes. Yes, thank you, Spencer. Spencer just handed me a rose. And it looks creepy, but you did a great job.
We'll go to a game.
Yeah. It was $2.99 at Kroger, and here's your change, and she paid for it.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Okay, we'll see how it goes. We'll post the video up later on at WBKR.com.